again, go do something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX.
J-Way.
I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless.
I'm gone.
Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck.
Give me that.
To the trends. See a lead, be the band.
But we slide right with the top down bit too high.
Welcome to Bleachers and Speakers. I'm your host, June. I got my boy B Foster. Before we celebrate, subscribe to Bleachers and Speakers on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on all the podcast aggregators. That's Bleachers and Speakers FFSN in your search. Make sure you hit that notification bell so when we drop media content, you'll be able to get an alert. Download those episodes. Foster, we got a final. Lions 34, the Packers 31. That one was for Zeke. Zeke was talking a lot of stuff. I got to give my boy a shout out. He was cheering for his Packers after they got a lead. He was quiet till they went up 21-17. And then, he had a little something to say, but the game's 4 quarters. You gotta wait and see this thing out. Campbell is just gutsy, bro. He makes some wasn't it 2? Let's not include that last drive, but he made 2 4th down calls for touchdowns.
At least one.
One before half, and the other one was to Patrick on 4th down.
Was Patrick got to play?
Yeah, that was 4th down.
We didn't punt the whole game. I know that much. But that's Tim Patrick.
Hey man, I felt like the first 4th down gamble, the toss on our side of the field was kind of sickening. I was mad. I was like, you don't do a halfback toss there on 4th down. But they did it, and it resulted in the Green Bay getting the touchdown. I think they had 2 touchdowns gift wrapped to them. They had the interception by Goff on our side of the field and that 4th down turnover on 4th down. Dave says, Skull, what a game. FTP, of course, absolutely. Yeah, great game. That Campbell's just the cardiac cats, man. He's just he's going to risk it all every single game, man. Every single game.
You can't say that man don't trust his team because he puts them in positions that are not the most comfortable ones, and it's on y'all to get it done, regardless of how good or bad the play is, because that toss was a terrible, it just looked awkward. It was hey, we're gonna start the ball 7 yards back
to gain inches.
And then it was a toss where he had to run forward. Or no, I saw a couple tosses. You know how most of the time when you toss the ball, you're heading outside. I saw a couple tosses where you went inside. What type of
what's the purpose?
It was weird.
I mean, I guess, like I said, I question a lot of things Dan Campbell does, but at the end of the day, if he wasn't who he was, the Packers get that ball back.
Respect to the Packers because they were tough inside. As far as that interior, they were not playing.
They were not playing, and we wound up having a breakout game from Tim Patrick. You were high on Tim Patrick when he was acquired, and he's starting to get more and more comfortable within the offense. 2 touchdown passes from him, man. I don't know his total yardage, but I know he scored twice, and that's all I needed to see.
Yeah.
And then I just thought about it. We wound up sweeping the Packers this year.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, we're 12. Well, what was that? It was yeah. What's our record? 12-1.
12 and
Goodness.
1. Yeah,
Wow.
Patrick ended up with 43 yards passing, receiving, which seems kind of crazy because every pass that he caught seemed like it was a first
First
down,
down
but
or a touchdown.
huh?
First down or touchdown. How many catches
Yeah,
he had? 4?
6. So it was
6.
7
Okay.
yards, 7 yards a catch. So everyone wasn't but the touchdowns were probably short yards. That's
Yeah.
probably what did it. But he is the embodiment of, I know some Lions fans will probably think to themselves, hey, Josh Reynolds is out there. Is it worth taking another flyer on him? But Tim Patrick is literally embodied.
He's taking on that. He's taking that position.
The only thing that he hadn't done, because he's been a guy that could stretch the field a little bit, not like bomb type stuff, but he's a guy that can get that first, stretch the field, get that first down, but he hadn't scored any touchdowns. Now, and what's crazy is he scored 2, but if you remember, there was a pass interference on early in the game that ended up being a Montgomery touchdown. So the opportunities to score, the opportunity to score early was even there when, and he drew that penalty. And once again, it's one of those penalties that you draw where it's just as good as a touchdown damn near, because pass interferences anyways, because that one might have been a legal contact. Illegal contacts are yardage penalties, but pass interference is spots. So if it had been a pass interference, it would have put us on the 1 yard line.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. What was Goff's numbers by the end of the day?
All right, let's look.
I'm very curious to see what his numbers were.
So Goff's numbers were 32 for 41, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and that one pick.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they get the ball in the second half. They're down 17-7. They get the ball and they drive down the field immediately and make it 14-7. Goff throws an interception and they score again and they're up 21-17. And it's like that. And it was 13 minutes left in the third quarter when they were up 21-17. Zeke, this is a children's show, man. There will be no F-bombs. I mean, I was relaxed the whole time. You guys needed this game more than we did. If we lost, we just lost, but we just happened to win. Don't worry though. The wild card is within your grasp. Just keep fighting, Tiger. Yeah.
Keep fighting, Tiger.
I'm not putting up that other I'm not putting up that other comment, Zeke. We're not doing that.
What is he? Do I gotta monitor this? Do I need?
You have to might have
to.
That is kind of rough. I mean, Zeke, you can't win them all. I mean, even we can't. We've lost a game. We're 12-1. We can't win it all, though. You know what I'm saying? No, I was calling you Tiger, but it's okay.
Tigers, he says. Oh, he's
distraught, ladies and gentlemen. Gun Hood Zeke is a Green Bay Packer fan, and he made a couple of posts on Facebook. They are who we thought they were.
He was posting during the game too.
Yes, that's what he said. He said,
okay.
They thought they are who we thought we were. Pack Nation. Oh boy. First of all, Pack Nation is kind of zesty to me. I'm sorry. I mean, just want to put it out there. But hey, whatever floats your boat, bro. Yeah, but it was a good game. I don't want to just go off on a tangent because Zeke's got me out of pocket, bragging, but it was a very, very entertaining game. All the way down to the end, like to win it with no time left on the clock, 34-31. Our field goal kicker is clutch, but I'm glad they didn't settle for like a 45 or 50 yarder. They went ahead and I thought that was a first down by St. Brown, though, bro.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy because it was one of those where like the way, because he really got thrown. He didn't really fight for it. He got thrown, and for whatever reason, they marked him as if it was like, you know how when you get thrown backwards, they take forward progress or whatever. It was the opposite. So I was like, that's odd, but you know,
It was odd. It was very odd. But
because he clearly, according to that imaginary line that you see, he threw him past it.
And the ref automatically told him to move the chains up because they knew. He said, Gun Hook Zeke said, "Get y'all 8 people, meet me at the nearest patch of grass, and let's see who really lit." Aren't you at work? Let us do our job. You don't do your job, man. You can fight all you want. It's still a L for the Packers. I'm sorry, man. It's just the way to come. You're still in the wild card hunt. You know, chill out. You know, you're 8-4, 9-4. You're okay. It's a good season. Anyway, this win. I'm not posting no more comments from bitter Packer fans, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you gave him some shine.
I did give him some shine, man. I did give him some shine. Look, I'm gonna take a quick break and don't go nowhere. We'll be back in 10 seconds if you're watching, and if you're listening, you'll hear those beautiful ads. Gun Hood Zeke says y'all better beat the Vikings. No, y'all better beat the Vikings. Y'all need that to win a little bit more than we do.
He's skipping over stuff.
And we got bigger fish to fry right now. We have the Bills next week. So we're going to concentrate on them. Yeah, we got the Bills next week. That's going to be a tough game. Luckily, it's at home, but we're not going to go too far on a tangent. Me and Foster will do a preview of the game, and we're also hosting the NFC North Division show. So check us out on Wednesday when we host that show, and it's always a good show to host when your team wins that week. And it's always good to win in your division and host it. You know what I'm saying? Host that show, Foster. I don't know, man. It's just this victory here. I said the key to winning the division was to at least split and sneak in a sweep, right? So we've had a division win over everyone in the division. We've swept Green Bay. We have the Bears before we ever played the Vikings. But Vikings are on week 18. I think we're sitting pretty good as far as the division.
Yeah, the Bears game is the only game that we have left on the road, right?
Yes.
Because we beat the Vikings and then we beat the Packers. So
yeah. We won in Minnesota. We won both games for Green Bay. And so we beat Chicago here on Thanksgiving last week. And the last game of the year is versus the Vikings. I need to see what the injury report is like. I know Lee McNeil left. Did he wind up coming back?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was active. I mean, we saw a lot of guys. One thing about our defensive line, it's like, whoop. But I saw every member from our practice squad or every signee. David Long had a fumble recovery. He was in on a couple plays. I saw Adams blitzing. I saw him in on a couple tackles. The Williams guy, I saw he got a pressure and a QB hit. The defensive line really stepped up. Tim Connor from Eastern Michigan.
Oh yeah. I mean, okay.
Oh yeah, okay, my bad. I made the
No.
weird face for Ipsy. I ain't mean to.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. We're not doing that. Shout out to Ipsy. Shout out to Eastern Michigan, my alma mater. We're not doing that, Foster.
Yeah. My bad. I caught myself. I caught myself.
He's Eastern Michigan. Oh, come on, come on, bro. Don't do us like that.
Max Crosby. You ever heard of him? He's okay.
You Western Michigan guys like are the worst. Like, but anyway, if you haven't been paying attention, the Lions have been acquiring people off practice squads left and right, and it seems like the people that they're picking are out there making plays. I don't know if they're just that lucky or is it a testament to the coaching. But
there's no luck involved.
I mean, I'm just saying though, like, how can these players be like O'Connor was getting pressure. Muhammad was getting pressure and making plays. These are guys that were on the practice squad. Quan Alexander made a couple of plays. You know, Jamal Adams is going to make plays, but these are people that weren't on active rosters, and due to the decimation of our defense as far to injuries, we're picking these people up and they're producing.
I mean, it's a wonder. I mean, we talked about it in the pregame. It's a wonder what you can do when you're surrounded by, when first of all, the energy, the culture, the motivation is there. It's a wonder what you can do. And when you're not asked to be the focal point. Jamal Adams wasn't the focal point. I didn't expect to see him playing the first drive, right. the first couple drives. We saw Quan Alexander, David Long, and Adams like back to back to back. And these are guys at their peak, at their pinnacle, were the best player, one of the best players at their position. Mm-hmm. And they're not the best players. Aleem McNeil, Carlton Davis had a great game.
Yes.
Kirby Joseph didn't have. I think he was kind of
quiet for the most part.
Remember that deep ball that Watson caught at the beginning of the second half? You know, in the beginning of the second half. Mm-hmm. You know, that was a ball. That was a play that he literally was beating himself up about. Of course, Brian Branch was flying all over the place. Like, those are our real focal points and top players. So when you can come in and play a role, because at their peaks, David Long was a captain. David Long was a captain at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Jamal Adams is a four-time and I think 4 times in a row Pro Bowler and revered as a top 100 player and the highest paid safety when he got his big contract. Same with Quan Alexander. Quan Alexander, when he got paid, he was the highest paid linebacker at that time. So when you're not asked to be the best player, and you're brought into a championship team, you can just kind of do what you do.
Absolutely. And like I said, I said it. I mean, how good do you have to be as a GM to just pick these players and they get into the games and they're making plays? I think it's a testament to who you're picking up and the coaching and the scheme. I think all of those play a part of it. And like I said, don't look now, but in a couple weeks, that we're going to get a couple of people back. Like, we're going to get a couple of people back on the defensive end. I think we got about 3 more weeks for Anzalone, maybe, and possibly 3. You know, he could be back at the the last game of the season, maybe a little earlier. I mean, definitely by playoffs for sure. He'll be there.
Yeah, we still got what? How many weeks left in the year? 4? Or I mean,
we're 12-1, so that's 13. We got 4 more games left.
Another month. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we should have you know, we should have a bye, you know, a first round bye in that too. So you can, you know, damn near count that as
That's
5.
another week for healing. So, yeah, I mean, I think, but I honestly, you know, regardless of who's in there, I think the coaching, the schemes, all of that stuff is playing in our favor right now. I mean, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that one of your tackles was going to be one of your D tackles was going to be O'Connor, you know what I'm saying?
Who?
You know, and it's like, and I suspect DJ Reader will be back next game because his injury wasn't that serious.
Yeah.
Um,
Decker should
we
be
didn't
back.
play with Decker. Decker did not play this week. I'm pretty sure he'll be back next week.
Pascal. Yeah.
Oh,
I think so.
Pascal. I heard Broderick Martin's name tonight.
Did you? Because I didn't see. I that was a name that amongst all the guys that I was like, who are these people? I did not see Broderick Martin myself.
They called his name. Maybe they said a mistake, but they did say his name. That's how I knew he was in it. But they said Broderick Martin was in for a tackle, or you know. So I'm not sure.
Anzarike didn't play tonight either. So
No.
that's another guy that could possibly be back because I haven't heard anything that would suggest it was a serious injury, but
yeah, for sure, man. This was a very, very good win to be 12-1. Foster, after 13 games. Did you suspect this?
Nah, didn't we our prediction was 12 wins.
12-5, right? 12-5.
Right. Yeah.
12-5 was the ceiling, 11-6 was the floor. That's what we said that what we were going to expect from the Lions this year. 11-6 at worst, 12-5 at best. And we're at 12 games already with 4 games left. This is going to buckle up because it's still some football left. I ain't gonna say a lot of football, but it's some football left.
Got a good quarter left, or
something like that. You know, I mean, it's 17.
A 16-game season would be 4
right?
Would
be the quarter, but it's 17. So, you know, but yeah, about a quarter of the way to go. We'll round that off. Yeah.
We clinched tonight, no matter what. You know.
Oh, so we clinched.
Yes, we officially clinched it.
Oh, okay, cool. That's all. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Making the playoffs. For so long we were usually, if we made it, the last ones in.
Yeah, we had to sweat it out.
Yeah, for years, if we made it, it's the last we're in. We're not used to being like the first one in as far as the playoffs concerned.
Chiefs already clinched, I believe, but
who? I'm not talking about their side of the bracket. You know,
our side for sure.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't matter what happens in the AFC. You know what I'm saying? It has no effect on whether we clinch or not. But yeah, we're probably the first to clinch in the NFC with 4 games left. I'm wondering what everybody else has left on their schedule. That's something we'll talk about the next show. Foster, you know what I want to do though? I want to do a couple of extra shows near the end of the season where we talk about all the football, not just the Lions. So maybe
I'm so bad about watching everybody else. I mean, I do watch the NFC North. I try to pay if I got an opportunity to watch.
We don't have to get in depth. We can look at the records and who they played, this, that, and other. I tell you what, I'll take the lead on it, and then we'll get through the shows. How about that? I'll do the research. I know you got your
help me out, man.
Now, I know you got your hands full with the featured player of the week that you do, and I suspect we got some more coming up because I want to know more about O'Connor now from Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, right. We got to look him up, see what he's been talking about.
Can you tell us more about Mr. O'Connor? But he was playing like there was especially the first half. Now, mind you, the Lions only gave up 7 points in the first half. In the first couple of drives, Love couldn't get set. He couldn't do anything. That
And
pass,
if you take away if they don't call pass interference on Terrion Arnold and that pick counts, that was the points we gave up, right? The 7 points we
yeah,
gave up was on
he
that.
gave us
Yeah.
7 points there. Yep.
Because it was borderline, like, all right, I guess.
The only
And
thing
it's
the
easy
only
target.
reason they called it because he didn't look back for the ball. If he looks
For
back
sure.
for the ball, they don't call anything.
Plus, he's been, you know what I mean? He's been labeled like, hey, you're not gonna lose no sleep calling a pass interference on Terrion Arnold.
No. And I saw a lot of people like giving Terry Arnold flack. I'm like, it was a good play. He just didn't turn his head around.
And by the way he reacts, you always know it's like, yeah, he probably did something wrong because he's always just like, really? Me? Like, yeah, you mug.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Let's take another quick break. I want to get these breaks out the way, and then whatever happens, just happens. Just make sure before we go to break, just make sure you subscribe to Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. We got a nice amount of people out there watching. Please subscribe to Bleachers Speakers on YouTube. Follow us on the podcast aggregators, and make sure you got the notification bell on. We're going to take a quick break. If you're watching, we'll be back in 10 seconds. I know it's late and I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. But Lions win 34-31. And Foster, what do you take away from this game?
I mean, this is a lot of this game is kind of what I expected. I mean, like I said, I knew what surprised me is the fact that we were able to get to Jordan Love. We only sacked him one time. He evaded us a couple of times. He actually was able to get out of the pocket and run a little bit. But early on in the game, for certain, we were getting after him. So Darius Smith got a sack.
For sure.
So that was huge. Muhammad had another good game. He, we knew that he could rush the quarterback, but he surprisingly is pretty stout in the run game as well. He was able to hold his contain. But Josh Jacobs, 3 touchdowns tonight. I knew he could.
He got some tough rushes in there.
Yeah. And that was huge. Like there was a point in the game where I'm not gonna lie, I was like, you know what? This defensive line is kind of depleted, and maybe it's going to just be too much for us. I can admit it because he was running at will. I mean, Josh Jacobs, how old is Josh Jacobs? He's like 29, 30. Like that's not. Let's see. Oh no, he's 26. Okay. Yeah. He's in his prime. Okay.
And
I don't know why
the Raiders let him walk.
Yeah, that was that first. Yeah. So so Josh Jacobs is they're gonna try to lock him up forever. I don't know how many years they signed him for, but he's a keeper for them. So they were very
he got his 1,000 yards tonight. So over 1,000 yards. And they mentioned something about the running backs. They don't put a premium on running backs like they used. They don't value running backs like they used to. And I think I'm talking about the NFL.
But I really feel like and we talked about this on Wednesday. The narrative might be changed now. You got guys like Barkley, Jacobs. I don't know how good of a year Swift is having. We know Montgomery and Gibbs are having impeccable years.
Bijan
Robinson, Henry. Like we got a lot of running backs this year that are having great years. But not to dwell too much on that. Outside of that, very characteristic. When you have a good running game, you tend to defend the run very well. And it wasn't easy for us tonight. I mean, we did just enough. We did score some touchdowns. Well, no, Gibbs, his touchdown was a passing touchdown. It was a short little angle route. But I know Montgomery had a touchdown, and Goff almost had a touchdown on the QB sneak. But that interior defense for the Packers was tough.
Yeah, for sure.
And outside of that, Tucker, the tight end battle. I'll talk about the tight end battle. Tucker Kraft and Jack Campbell.
Kraft.
That was a nice catch.
That was, I mean, Kraft is tough.
Yeah.
Oh man, we don't have to see him no more unless it's in the playoffs. But Kraft, tough.
Him and Jack Campbell had a nice little rivalry because. I don't. If you weren't paying attention, they were definitely chirping back and forth. There was a lot of just a lot of chatter back and forth between the two of them. I know one time Campbell and Arnold combined on a tackle, and Kraft, did the he jumped up without the arms.
He was flexing.
Hey, that's got to be hard to do in pads when you're 250 pounds. Bro.
And he got popped too.
Oh yeah, he got wrecked.
And the reason why he did that because he just learned that wasn't nothing.
Yeah. He had to. You know how you get that real nice one, and you got to pop up and let them know that like you ain't hurt me that bad, even though you seeing stars around you. You got to pop back up. But Kraft. Yeah, Kraft. He was talking his ish for sure. So that was fun. That was fun to watch. Laporta had it going early. Kraft almost had two because you remember the one that Love completely airmailed.
He was open.
He was wide open. So yeah, that was a nice battle. But outside of that, what else? Let me go back to my notes.
I'm gonna tell you how key that last stop by Detroit. It wasn't a stop; they held them to a field goal to tie it. That was huge because what Green Bay needed to do was score a touchdown in that situation, not just to tie it. I think they kind of settled for the tie, and then at that point, the Lions had the ball for the rest of the game. And settle for a field goal. Now, I do think the Lions would have scored a touchdown if needed be because they were moving the ball at will. First play, I think, was a 19-yarder to J-Mo. And then you had another 17-yard play to Patrick. I mean, Goff was kept clean on that last drive, and he hit his targets. And I know
he was looking kind of elusive in that pocket, man. He
ran for about 8 yards on a scramble. I mean,
and he got spooked and could have got the first down. And he said, "Nah, I'm a."
And the ghost of Michael Vick in him. He was like, "Yeah, nah, but no."
But they've been keying in on St. Brown. St. Brown didn't have a great game. He only had 5 receptions and 43 yards. The leading receiver, once again, we've talked about it before. Jamison Williams, 5 receptions for 80 yards. He was the leading receiver tonight. Tim Patrick was the hero. He had the 2 touchdowns.
They spread that ball around though.
They do.
What about Laporta?
Laporta had 5 for 54, but I know just off the top of my head, he had 4 for 40 in the first half alone. So he didn't get as many touches in the second half, but another solid game for him. He didn't get I think he had one catch that I think he got down to like the 2-yard line though. So he nearly had a touchdown as well. Yeah. So any given night could be Brown, could be Laporta. Laporta had 2 touchdowns last game. It might be one of the running backs. But tonight Patrick was the hero. Might be Brock Wright.
Yeah.
Brock Wright's got at least one this year.
Yeah. I think what let me ask you this, and we're not going to dwell on this. I mean, great victory. But what impressed you the most about the Lions tonight? Because off the top, off top, me thinking is the replacements on the defense. There were a lot of names that we
Connor,
didn't know.
the Eastern Eagle.
That's enough out of you. There's a lot of names who were playing in the first quarter that we didn't know who they were at the beginning of the season. So that's why I'm the most to take players from the practice squads and off the street and to have them play like they did in the first quarter. Now, I'm not going to say the score looks crazier than what it's supposed to be. Let's look at the defense as a whole. First half, 7 points. That's all they allow, 7 points.
I was ready to say that we shut them out for I was ready to say that, but yeah, they ended up giving up that touchdown at the end.
Now, I will say this. At half, right after half, they earned that touchdown. They drove all the way down the field, and I'll give them the defense, I'll say 2 touchdowns that you allow, 2 nice drives you allow, right? And then we'll take in the last drive that they had where you gave up 3 points. All right. The other that accounts for 17. The other 2 touchdowns were off a golf interception where they got the ball at the 25, where they started at the 25. They were almost in the red zone. And then you had the 4th down that you gift wrapped them to the 30. Now you're putting your defense in a tough position with Jordan Love getting the ball there both times. And they capitalize on them. So I don't fault the defense for those 14 points. It's going to count against the defense for sure. But at the same time, that's 14 points that you could have probably avoided. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hold the defense accountable for that. I think they hold for the most part, they earned the 17 points, but we gift wrapped them 2 touchdowns. Just gift wrapped them. MSU Detroit fan says Detroit playoff city for sure. For sure. With that being said, they clinched. My boy Troy is in the building. Troy says another Lions dub. Feel good to beat the Packers. Feels good to sweep the Packers. I love the makeup of that. Just sweeping the Packers. Now, I got to sweep. I want to sweep the Bears, and I want to sweep Minnesota. I think no matter what, we get those 2 games, it's definitely a wrap. We do have a couple games in between that, though. Next up is the Buffalo Bills, then the Bears, or there, and then San Francisco away, and then with the finale versus Minnesota. I think Frisco, depending upon how the rest of their season goes, because they've been hit by the injury bug as well. But if they're in a fight, they're gonna play their hearts out versus us. They're going to fight, but we don't have to worry about Christian McCaffrey, and Mason just got hurt. Their second string running back just got hurt. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. That's a couple weeks down the road. MSU Detroit fan says the Lions winning the Super Bowl just in time for the new Lion King movie. Oh, wow. Talk about timing. That works, man. That works. So we're not going to hold you, Foster. I know you have stuff to do in the morning, and this is a great victory. I won't say flawless victory, but we did walk out of the game without any serious injuries. And that seems to be, and I notice what I'm not going to say anymore, Foster. I'm not going to say, let's get out the game with no injuries. Because every time I say that, it's an injury. I'm not saying that no more. You notice in the pregame show, I didn't mention it.
Yes, I did. I did now, but yeah.
Yeah, I did not say it, not going to say it, because every time I say it, it's an injury. So Good win. And if you want to put a bow on this, Foster, now's the time to do so.
Hey, we won that war in the trenches. Yeah, we won the war in the trenches. This game was more of a shootout than I expected. I mean, it literally felt like it was going to come down to whoever scored last, and ultimately that did fall on us. So I'm very thankful for that. And yeah, big win at home, national television against a divisional opponent. We live to get to the next day, the next game, and we were just that much closer to home field advantage throughout the throughout the playoffs. We're getting closer and closer, but we clinched today, which is the only thing that we could ultimately accomplish is being able to clinch a playoff berth. So we'll continue to attack those milestones as we get there, but we handle business. It was not. I knew it would be close. What did I say? 24.
You said 28-21.
Yeah.
27-21. I'm sorry.
27-20. I think 27-20. I think I said
27-20, something like that.
So yeah, I knew it would. I felt like it was going to be within one score, and then when Ali McNeil went out, I'm like, oh my god, come on, man, really? So
he got back in there. He
got back in there. He did get back in there. Because when you see concussion, it's like if he got a concussion, he could. But but yeah, we got the job done again, and it wasn't without the theatrics. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning in and going on this journey with us, because they got my heart racing like the Tigers did down the stretch.
Cardiac cats. MSU Detroit fan says golf falling on that final play nearly gave me a heart attack. I mean,
oh my god, on the handoff. Yeah. That was fourth down.
Remember, it's fourth down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's fourth
and
down.
Thank God he didn't trip. Well, usually you trip over your own guys, but technically his knee hit before.
Of course it did. Now, if he'd have tripped over a Green Bay fan, he's down.
Exactly.
So, MSU Detroit fan says, ironic, the Lions are looking to win the Super Bowl when there is a new Sonic and Lion King movie coming out.
Oh, come on.
The Sonic movie.
That too.
Knuckles and Sonic. That is before we get out of here, Foster, what was the line on what was their stats? Knuckles and Sonic.
Oh, okay. Let's look at that. It wasn't great, but okay. So Montgomery had 14 carries for 51 yards, which is 3.5 per carry, but he did have a touchdown. Montgomery. Mm-hmm. As far as rushing from Montgomery for Gibbs, 15 carries for 43 yards. He averaged 3 yards a carry. So
they were on him though. They
was on him like white on rice.
He broke loose for one run where he got about 18, 19 yards, but they were on him.
But as far as receiving, they each a piece had 5 catches. As far as Montgomery is concerned, for 33, and Gibbs had 6 catches for 30 with that touchdown in the red zone, and that was on fourth. Was that on fourth down too?
That was on fourth down.
Yes. So they are.
I said they spread that ball around.
Because I was surprised to see that they had 11 completions between just off the running backs alone. It's crazy.
But that's how you keep a blitzing defense or an aggressive defense at bay. You do those little dump offs, and you do your screens, and you keep them. You work that against them. So
and you one thing that does not show up in the stats, Montgomery made a couple blocks in the passing game, and when they were interviewing Goff, and they asked him, what do you love about Montgomery the most? And he said the enthusiasm he has towards pass blocking. And of course, because there was a couple of times, I can't remember dude's name, McDuffie, that dude got in on a couple like instantaneously where
Yeah.
Montgomery doesn't make that block right there. Because one time Goff just got rid of it because it was literally him. And there was another one where Montgomery cut his legs and McDuffie got up and still almost got to him.
Yeah.
But it was just enough time for him to get it off to Patrick for a first down. So yeah, Montgomery can't say because that's who they keep in there. If it's pass blocking, if it's not on a pass, Montgomery is the guy they keep in, I think, primarily for the pass block, and he gets the job done. And those are the things that, like, you look at the touchdowns, you look at the yards and stuff like that. Those don't show up in the stat sheet. So, but very important because those turn into touchdowns a lot of times. You need that extra half a second for one of your players to get down the field, and it's the running back in on the pass block. So
yeah, very much so. So we're gonna wrap this up, Foster. Great win. The Lions win 34-31, last second field goal, no time left. Great drive to end the game, making sure that Jordan Love doesn't get on the field again in that offense, because they were moving the ball pretty good. And like I said, great win. I want everyone, if you're watching, please subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. And if you were commenting anywhere else except YouTube, we cannot see your comments. I know we've got some people out there on Twitter that's paying attention to us, and we got some people out there that's on Facebook. We didn't see it. We're not ignoring you. We don't see the comments on there. So you subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube and comment there. We need your comments there, and we can interact with you. We can answer. We can read your comments. And unless you're bitter like Zeke. Peace.
Get your lick back. If a nugget owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat. Stop letting shit slide and get your lick